uh, Mr. Nixon Joseph, for joining us live in this Youth Ki Baat e-dialogue with Youth of India Foundation. Thank you so much once again for being here with us.
Thank you.
To all our viewers, thank you so much to each one of you who are joining us live. It's really a delight and a pleasure welcoming each one of you in this dialogue with Mr. Nixon Joseph. Mr. Nixon Joseph is the President and Chief Operating Officer for SBI Foundation. He is a postgraduate at English Language and Literature who joined State Bank of India in 1985, the year that we were not even born, as a probationary officer. He has served in SBI Bahrain also as Chief Executive Officer in the SBI Tokyo branch. He is a certified credit professional, certified banking compliance professional, and certified information systems banker. He was president of Sakura Toastmasters Club Tokyo and also started the Tokyo Debating Society. His interest in long distance running has led to the completion of 40 full marathons amounting to 42.195 kilometers, thus being the only official among the 1.1 million bank employees in India in the SBI community to have the achievement, making him popular and known as SBI's marathon legend. But his legendary success comes at the age of 45. And since that year till 58 that he is now, he has been running full marathons. He has also been running in the SBI Green Marathons to spread the message and advocate about sustainability and definitely contributing to climate action. Now, one very interesting fact about Mr. Joseph is that despite this lockdown, he dared to complete 3 full marathons. Now, you must be thinking, wow, how, where? He has been jogging inside his apartment, giving the message that where there is will, there is an inspiring way. As a coordinator for SBI Youth for India Fellowship Program, he was instrumental in inspiring, mentoring, and taking the fellowship to a higher level. Also, as the president of SBI Foundation, the CSR arm of State Bank of India, he has been supporting many strong impact projects to help the underprivileged and needy. Not among all the achievements that he have had, he is also the recipient of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award 2018 for Excellence in Public Service and Dr. Kalam's Memorial Ignited Minds Award. Thank you so much, Mr. Nixon Joseph, for accepting our invite and being here with the Youth of India today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, to give each one of you a little background of what the topic of discussion is, we are all aware that today, we are going to celebrate this. This month would be the celebration of 75 years of existence of the United Nations. While we speak of United Nations, something that really strikes us in the mind and takes us 5 years back from the year 2015 is the Sustainable Development Goals. When the world as a whole community came together in making sure that we implement 17 goals for the development of the world and the community together. Having said that, when we talk about the 17 goals and when we talk about the youth power and when we talk about the importance of young India, and as all of you know that India is one of the youngest nations in the world. So what is the role of Youth of India in contributing towards the completion of the 17 goals, which would be by the year 2030, and then also looking at how these goals would be crucial and important towards strengthening the 75 years of existence that we're talking about United Nations. Now, it reminds me back once again to a lot of our discussions and dialogues that India strongly believes in. As a nation, it has always believed in Swasmai Swalpam Samajaya Sarvaswam. That is a little bit for oneself and everything for the society. And this very crisis as well has made us realize and revise our consumption pattern, further leading to the optimal utilization of resources. And I think that is the crux or the essence of the SDGs as well. Not forgetting why we were celebrating the 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation. It also made us realize that Gandhi was a true epitome and an advocate of sustainable development goals. who has not only localized sustainable development, but has also rejuvenated sustainable development models right in the villages of India. And it is rightly said that if you want to develop the country, we need to develop and bring the sustainable solutions that are present in the villages. Something that is there right with me, which is the epitome of localization of sustainable development goals. As Ms. Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General had rightly mentioned, leaving no one behind. And when we talk about leaving no one behind, when we talk about bringing of marginalized young women and men in the entire mainstream of sustainable development goals, it is this mud glass which is the epitome of sustainable development goals. It is this localized product which comes from the village. निक्सन जी आप भी ये देखे होंगे, ये मिट्टी की कुल्हड़ जहां हर जगह मिलती है. This is the epitome of sustainable development goals, because this product is an alternative to the single-use plastic as well. However, not taking much of our time, I would really now request Mr. Nixon Joseph to share his thoughts and views on what would be the role of youth of India in localizing sustainable development goals. Mr. Nixon, over to you, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone. And thank you, Sailesh Singalji, for that detailed introduction. I am incredibly honored by this invite from Youth of India Foundation to address youths on the role of youth in achieving sustainable development goals. It's a very, very relevant topic, especially because this is a global agenda for having better lives and better planet. And when this agenda was finalized in 2015, it was thought that the youths of that time will mature in another 15 years. And by 2030, we will have a better planet with the involvement, active engagement of youths. So this is a very, very relevant topic, not only for everyone, but for youths especially. India is a very young nation, and active engagement of youth in sustainable development efforts is central to achieving sustainable, inclusive, and stable societies by the target date of 2030. Youths have a very big role because youths are critical thinkers, they are change makers, they are communicators, they are innovators, they are leaders, and they can mobilize resources, people to bring change. If we see the history of the world and various recent happenings, we can find that youth are playing a major role in developing history. Provided with necessary skills and opportunities, youth will be a formidable force to achieve the sustainable development goals. As young leaders of tomorrow, it is pivotal that youths are informed and engaged with the global vision for the future. The youths will be the key drivers for the successful implementation of the 17 SDGs and bringing in a better world. Youth can provide new energy, creativity, and dynamism to address the myriad of global challenges today. Young leaders have fresh ideas, they have innovative ideas, they exhibit creative entrepreneurial skills, which all will help addressing various issues under SDGs. And if we go to the 17 SDGs, how to localize them is a thought which is occurring. It is not a complex task. We see that SDG number 1, no poverty. The goal of the first goal is no poverty. It is not a very big mission. Each person, each youth, each young person can do his best in supporting, contributing towards this goal. And how to do this? One is increasing the amount of entrepreneurs is a solution to address poverty. By improving and learning new skills, our youth can become more competent to enter the job market and get employed. This is one way of addressing poverty. Youth can invite or organize meetup with professionals from different fields and learn more about skills, about entrepreneurial talents, so that they can start their own enterprises, micro enterprises, startups, and address poverty. You can convince your teachers and professors to run a class about financial inclusion, how to run the small business, how to arrange micro loans, about financial management, etc. Various governments bring out a lot of schemes to address poverty. Unfortunately, most of the potential beneficiaries are not aware of these schemes. Youth have a major role here to spread awareness about these social protection programs. And this will be one way of contributing towards the SDGs. Our second goal is zero hunger. No one should go to the bed hungry. What should the youth do? They should donate leftovers from your personal events like birthdays, graduation ceremonies, any other events. Leftovers, excess food can be given to the nearest food bank to help people in need. Or you can volunteer with your friends to collect and give away food, or even make it a regular activity of your friends. Educate yourself and others on nutrition. Our health depends on the food we consume. By learning more about nutrition and following a healthy diet, will increase your productivity and strengthen your health, and also spread information about this so that others also become healthy. So these are like simple suggestions which each of us can adopt, the youth can adopt to support or contribute to achievement of sustainable development goals. And the third goal is about health. You should educate yourself and your friends about the consequences of alcohol and drug abuse. That is one way of helping this achieve this goal. Youth can volunteer at hospital. From classes, you can organize a visit to the hospitals and learn more about the health issues in your country. Social isolation of people with diseases is a common problem in communities. Youth can host an open conversation to integrate people with particular diseases or start an honest discussion about health issues. Another suggestion is to reduce the number of deaths from traffic accidents. Youth can practice careful driving. Having a driving license is a privilege and a responsibility, but we have to also ensure that we follow traffic signs and rules. So don't use mobile phones while driving. Do not drive under the influence of alcohol. Youth students can also organize a road safety event in your class or workplace to educate others about the topic. Be aware about the local blood donation centers and support them. So each of these goals, we can play a major role towards achieving them. Fourth goal is quality education. What can youth do? Education is very, very important to address the issue of poverty, starvation, or even livelihood, etc. Youth can start an awareness campaign on the importance of education. Whatever books you are having, when they are not needed, they can be donated. That is the best, easiest way to do. Donate your used books to someone. You can organize an event where you collect books from your friends and donate them to kids who don't have the resources to buy them. We can promote and take free online courses. And whatever subjects we know, be it mathematics, be it chemistry, be it physics, science, history, we can take tuition, free tuition for those who are in need. We can provide tutoring and homework assistance. Fifth goal is gender equality. So wherever we see gender discrimination, we should raise our voice. Speak up for those who are being discriminated. Raise awareness amongst your friends, amongst your classmates about gender equality issues. Educate girls on their rights to end child marriage. You can support awareness campaigns in your community about this child marriage issue. Our sixth goal is clean water and sanitation. Here we can run a campaign on hygiene. Raise awareness about hygiene issues in your community through social media, university campaign, or even a campaign in the neighborhood you live in. Don't overuse water. Be mindful about using water. Make sure to close the tap when washing dishes. Keep those showers nice and short. Educate people on water waste. We can volunteer to distribute drinkable water in vulnerable communities. SDG 7, the goal is about affordable and clean energy. How can we help this? Turn off the lights when you are not using them. Educate your family and friends about not wasting power. Convince your parents and friends to use solar energy resources. Switch off heating, air conditioning when it is not necessary. Recycle the batteries. Spread information about sustainable energy. Eighth goal is decent work and economic growth. We have to organize mentoring programs for youth who have no idea about how to enter the job market. Don't buy from companies that exploit children. Buy from local producers. Youth can run orientation tests in the class so as to prepare those who are coming out of the school or colleges for jobs. For youth from rural areas, the youth from urban areas can take classes and mentor them. The ninth goal is industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Young people are the catalysts of innovation. So youth can organize IT classes in your schools, in your neighborhood. Organize science fairs in the schools. We can organize workshops to make the children more creative, more innovative. 10th goal is reduce the inequalities. What is reducing inequalities? That is bridging the income gap between the rich and the poor. Include all, irrespective of age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status. We should organize awareness workshops, seminars that address issues affecting minorities. Visit local orphanages, minority community centers, and organize a conversation to discuss the importance about these rights, and volunteer in these places regularly. Educate friends and yourself about cultural differences. Let's make the world more inclusive. Raise awareness about different religions and cultural heritages. And 11th goal is sustainable cities and communities. What is it about? It is about every person having a decent housing, development of sustainable cities and rural settlements, safe and affordable transport for all. How to support this goal? One is promote and supporting local museums, commuting in a sustainable way, carpooling, biking, walking, or using public transport. All of them make the city more sustainable. Spread awareness about disasters and needed help. Start yourself and inspire others to contribute to better public spaces. 12th goal is responsible consumption and production. What is it about? It is zero waste of natural resources. Keep businesses accountable to adopt sustainable practices. Cut global food losses in half. Ensure that lifestyles are in harmony with nature. How can we support this goal? By reducing usage of paper. Buy recycled goods and recycle yourself. Reducing water consumption. Switch off electronic devices when not in use. Keep your car tires inflated. Buy from the local groceries. Buy from the local shops. Make your own gifts. And the 13th goal is climate action. Increase the capacity on facing natural disasters. Track your carbon print. Find an online footprint tracker to measure your own emissions and set goals to reduce it. Buy eco-friendly products. Take public transport or bike. And 14th goal is life below water. Run a campaign about the effects of a wrong plastic disposal for seas and oceans. Help in cleaning up beaches, cleaning up projects for rivers and ocean. And don't throw trash in rivers or streams. SDG goal 15th, life on land, how we can support it. Don't throw trash. Dispose waste only in a trash bin to support the cleanliness of the soil. Clean our local parks and forests. Recycle paper. Don't use pesticides. Don't buy illegal plants or wildlife. Don't buy fur or leather items. And SDG 16 is peace, justice, and strong institutions. What is it about? It is about reducing violence everywhere. End violence and torture of children. Reduce corruption and bribery. Whenever we see corruption, let us report it to the appropriate authority. Don't give bribes. And the last goal is partnership for the goals. That is, for achieving SDGs, we have to partner with various organizations, and try to achieve the goal, because governments alone will not be able to achieve the sustainable development goals. It includes it necessary imperative cooperation of all the stakeholders, not only youths, but all the stakeholders. The role of youth in achieving the SDGs is threefold. One is generating new ideas, taking actions effectively, holding governments accountable. In each of these goals, there is something which as youths we can do. I have only suggested a few tips on how each of us can contribute to the sustainable development goals.
Right.
The focus is each of us becoming sustainable. Thank you.
Nixon sir, it is really a delight listening to you. For a matter of fact, that you have left with one very important aspect and a point. That is, the focus is in being every individual sustainable, and rather than a collective responsibility that each one of us are thinking, we need to have a campaign for removing of plastic, but it is important that we first remove consumption of single-use plastic from our lives. That individual sustainability has to start.
Yes.
And I am so glad that you mentioned that essence, because now that we are left with 10 years and this is the decade of action that we are calling, it is important that we revise ourselves and remind ourselves daily that it is individual sustainability that is important. And when every individual becomes sustainable, as you said, the world would in itself become sustainable. And as rightly mentioned by you on the goal number 17, that governments alone cannot do a lot of things. It is all the stakeholders have to come together. And in that stakeholdership, one important person is an individual. So thank you so much. And I have been writing down all, and as much as I could while you were speaking. And it just reminded me one very important and crucial aspect, that you haven't mentioned anything which is not doable.
Yes, because what I meant was that each person should first become sustainable. They should show that they can help support achieve sustainable development goals by practicing themselves, and then show it to their friends, show it to their parents, show it to the community, and thus make it a community movement, make it a public movement. So first we have to do it ourselves, and whatever tips or suggestions which I told can be easily done by everyone, because we don't have a planet B, and it is our duty to see that there is also a selfishness in this, that we have to see that our planet is much better by 2030.
Very true, sir. Sir, the ways that you have mentioned, I think you have also helped us redefine how an individual, and especially for young people of India and the world who would be listening to us today, it is also that it has with this crisis, how once we are post-crisis, I think there will be no post-crisis, but then once we start living with this entire pandemic, I think the ways that you have mentioned about skilling up oneself with learning more skills, or maybe meeting with more professionals and increasing the entrepreneurship by also having a lot of online courses, and each one of them was, I think, would in itself become a campaign to make sure that we can contribute to either of these goals. Some of them which I really liked and is right there, which I can remember, is about hygiene in the neighborhood, starting a campaign for hygiene in the neighborhood, or maybe turning off the lights and fans when they're not in use, or maybe while I'm brushing my teeth, I don't have to leave the taps open. And these are the basic things that you have talked about. There is nothing big, simple tips.
And one very good thing about the sustainable development goals is that if you are trying to achieve one, you are helping achieve many other goals also. If you are like focusing on education, it will lead to livelihood, it will lead to better health, it will lead to sustainable livelihood. So in that way, each of these goals are interconnected.
Right. Correct. Very good. So, one thing which you mentioned, it just reminded me one very good youth initiative that started in India by Afroz in Mumbai itself. I mean, the cleaning of the beach. I'm sure you're aware of it, and how he has transformed the entire beach by cleaning, by starting by an individual movement,
Yes.
and he started it as one person, and then the world joined in. And
That only is there. Each person has to start, show him as a role model, as an example of how SDGs can be achieved by a person, how one person can contribute to SDG and for a better planet, then people will follow you.
correct. True. And then also, sir, the eco-friendly products that you talked about, and something that I was very intrigued that, and I have been doing for the past 6 months, is tracking my own carbon footprint. And it amazes me, that as much as I'm emitting carbon, I'm not able to, balance it as much as I would want to. And it reminds me that as an individual talking about sustainability, as an individual talking about development, I am myself contributing to carbon as more than I could think of. So I think that was very nice of you to share, sir.
Because various ways are there. Like if we are using public transport, we are saving on fuel. Instead of using the escalator or lift, if we are climbing the stairs, we are saving energy, electricity. So there are small steps which each individual can take to contribute to SDGs. That is the one thing, and the one very important thing I want the youths to know is that each of the youth should be aware of the 17 SDGs themselves and also spread awareness about it. Because recently I have been interacting with almost 700 youths who had applied for the SBI Youth for India Fellowship. And when I made it a point to ask each of them how many sustainable development goals are there. And I was very shocked to hear that many of them are not aware of even sustainable development goals.
Right.
So that is a sad thing. And all those who are listening to me should spread awareness about sustainable development goals. What are these 17 goals and why these are important? It's not that UN is going to do something and achieve something for UN. It is something which has to be achieved so that all of us are having better lives, all of us are having a better planet, and this is the last opportunity we are having to have a better planet. So spreading awareness about SDGs is a very, very important thing. I was very shocked that many of the youths who are graduates, postgraduates are not aware about sustainable development goals, especially especially since this is going to affect them. The success or failure of sustainable development goals is going to affect the present day youth. So they have to see that this movement becomes successful.
Very true. You're absolutely right. There is importance of SDGs is far fold. And sir, I remember very rightly while I was traveling for a 15-day train journey across the country, advocating about sustainable development goals. And then United Nations had also featured an article in March 2016 regarding my travel. I also learned that this is very important. That I think rather than achieving the goals in itself, the first primary task is to make each and everyone aware about what SDGs is. And that is very crucial. Thank you so much for addressing that, because that is the first ground nut, or I mean, not the first seed of everything that we talk about SDGs as a whole.
And another thing which I find is that most of us think, no, we cannot do anything. We are small. Like we cannot do anything. Organizations have to do, institutions have to do, or government has to do something about it. That is not the fact. The truth is that wherever you are from, whatever is your position, whatever is your status in life, you can do something small every day to make the world a better place.
Right, sir.
And instead of telling there is waste lying there or these problems are there, instead of raising problems, we should become part of the solution. We should develop an attitude where we are becoming part of the solution.
Right, sir. Correct. Sir, I would just like to share with all our viewers as well. And I would thank each one of our viewers who have joined in for the past 5 months. Because of all of you who have been joining in and supporting our entire dialogues. Today, Nixon sir happens to be the 75th speaker with us, and we have reached out to approximately 25 lakh young people in the past 5 months. So, and today is the day 5 months before when we started, and the insight that we have that is that Youth of India has reached out to 25 lakh young people, making the voices heard about sustainability, about issues that matter us the most, and listening from experienced people and professionals like Mr. Nixon has really helped us in redefining our behavioral pattern as well. Like he said, we all can contribute to sustainable development goals. You just close the tap while it is running, while you're brushing your teeth. You are contributing to sustainable development goals. Or maybe switch off the lights. Or maybe, keep your hygiene, maybe keep the neighborhoods clean and neat. That is also contributing to health and well-being, and then the nutrition. Thank you so much, Nixon. I think there could be nothing more better to hear the simple aspects contributing to such a big thought that what is SDGs is something huge and we cannot contribute.
So, also, see, you had told about my running marathon. See, it need not be 42 kilometers. Even if you do 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, it contributes to your well-being and health. So each of us, if we do it, we are like pushing the movement of a fit India. And fit India means we are a healthy India. That itself is contributing to the sustainable development goals. And only if we are fit, we are ourselves sustainable, we can have a Atmanirbhar Bharat. Because it should be in our spirit, it should be our habit that we are going for Atmanirbhar. It should be self-reliance everywhere, sustainability everywhere. So we have to develop that spirit of sustainability and Atmanirbhar. Only then India can rise after this crisis.
True, sir, very rightly said. And Atmanirbharta, sustainability, bringing local products, and as you had said, the 3 points for all the youth of India is generating new ideas, taking actions, and then holding government accountable. But while we are holding government accountable, that doesn't mean that we blame. We strengthen initiatives, either through our own awareness drives, or maybe as Nixon sir is pointing out on different aspects as well.
Every problem we raise with the government, we should also give them the solution. What is our suggestion for solving that issue? Instead of merely criticizing, instead of merely raising problems. This is what we should keep in mind. We should have a positive role in shaping the future of India.
Correct. So exactly that is the vision of Youth of India as well that you're speaking. So we believe in 3 E's as well: engage, empower, and evolve. And we are thinking about how India would shape up by the year 2047, when India would be celebrating its 100 years of independence from the British Empire. And as we are moving ahead towards that direction, we believe that every individual is a leader in himself or herself. It is just about providing the platform. So we have provided about 100 opportunities to 100 leaders and 100 individuals who led individual projects and then became a volunteer in different projects as well. So this is a leader and a volunteer concept that keeps on going. And as the name suggests, whenever we do something at the international forums or any across the world, we believe that there is not single name that is being taken. That Youth of India is hosting so and so, or Youth of India is being invited. So it gives us sense of strength to the entire community of young people when it is being addressed at the international forums as well, and also to the international forums that Youth of India are thinking innovative, Youth of India are taking positive and constructive actions. And likely, which you mentioned about recycling paper, I have a very fantastic drive that we did with UNESCO, one of our partners organization, in creating this folders, which is made from recycled paper.
Okay. Very good.
And it is recycled paper and a hay that is made.
Okay.
So and we also made folders like this, then pads which had seeds in it. So once you have used the pads, and if you want to bury the secrets of the pad, you just bury it and a plant would grow out or a tree would come out. And a lot of pens were there as well. So these were a lot of sustainable products as inspired by the works that you have been doing, and as you suggested, to recycle paper. This has been one of the many products that we have been designing to contribute to sustainability, and at the same time, the way you mentioned about generating more employment at the local level. So this, sir, this folder is also made by a marginalized and disabled man. So he is also getting employment, and it also shows that he or she has a capacity, because we believe in leaving no one behind as well.
Each activity like that is contributing to several sustainable development goals.
Right, sir.
That is the very good thing about the 17 SDGs.
So there are a lot of questions that are coming up for you. We had directed everyone to Facebook Live. So one of them which has come up, sir. Sir, how is this goals communicated to the youth, and do you think that it needs to be part of the academic education?
SDGs are very important for the planet, for the world, and especially for the youth, because they are the future. So each individual should be thoroughly aware of the SDGs and also actively engage with the SDGs, so that we have a better planet, we have better lives by 2030. So this should form part of the educational curriculum, so that everyone is aware that there is something called SDGs. This something is a duty which each of us have to comply with. This should form part of our curriculum. And
Right.
organizations like Youth of India Foundation and various foundations are organizing conferences, seminars, etc., to spread awareness about SDGs. So in that way, these organizations are reaching towards the youth. But then after listening to these, like participating in these workshops or listening to these talks, etc., each youth should take upon himself, own these goals and try to implement it by breaking it into small steps and having a small beginning, which will ultimately lead to bigger steps. He can practice it. Then he can show his parents, his family, that this is doable. Then it can spread to his friends. And then the entire community can be mobilized. So in that way, this should be driven by youth.
This is really fantastic. I think one of the major challenges has been about how to include SDGs in the education and the academics as well. And the way you have mentioned the very pinpoints is really interesting to hear. So some of them one of our viewers want to know more about your marathon journey. Like, I was while we were speaking before the live, you said that age is just a number. So, I mean, how do you manage, and please share some of your challenges, because as an iceberg, we just know the upar ka hissa hame pate rehta hai.
Since youths are listening to me, I will tell that all of us are brought up in certain beliefs that we are not good in sports, we are not good in studies, we will not have a very good future. So all these beliefs are put into us from childhood onwards by our parents, by the society, by the teachers, etc. So we become prisoners of these beliefs. So I was thinking that I was told by my teachers I'm very good in studies. So I was thinking that is my only thing I can do. And also you focus on studies, you can do great things. But then I was not taking interest in sports because everyone told I am good in studies. So at the age of 45, I thought I should break this prison of beliefs. Whatever beliefs are restricting me, I should break out of it and live up to my full potential. So I thought I should do something which will inspire others. So till the age of 45, I was not into any athletic exercise or anything. But at the age of 45, I thought, since no other banker was doing long distance running, I will do long distance running. And since it is something which no one else is doing, I will be different. I will be inspiring others. So I started running full marathon at the age of 45, just to be different and just to inspire others. I thought people should get inspired by seeing what I do. And first marathon running was very painful because I had never done this earlier. But when I got the finisher's medal after 7 hours, 30 minutes of running, it gave me a big lesson that if you are determined, you can achieve anything. So for all the youths who are listening to me today, I have to give this, like share my experience that if you are determined, you can achieve anything in life. And also, if you enjoy what you do, that is the best thing to happen to you. And afterwards, I tried to practice a lot and improve my marathon timings and all. But what I did especially was to run 4 full marathons per year because I wanted a physical mental challenge before me every 3 months. And this is what to all the youths listening to me, I want to tell is that we should have some challenges to face, to overcome every day so that we come out of our comfort zone and grow. I could have comfortably sat in my office without participating any full marathon and without going to the ODL, etc. But I thought if I remain in my comfort zone, I'm not going to grow. I will not grow to my full potential. And what I did by coming out of the comfort zone, by taking up the challenges is that I could grow to my full potential. I felt that I was living. I could inspire thousands of people. And these are the great, it's a great experience, great feeling that you are able to inspire thousands. And marathon teaches you a lot of things. I mean, not marathon, even sports. So all the youths who are listening to me, I will tell you, have some extracurricular activities which will help you because many of the youths get disappointed very fast. They are not resilient these days. You have to develop resilience. You have to overcome disappointments because life is not just falling down. Life is falling down, getting up and continuing life. And sports is one way you can learn resilience. You can learn the never give up spirit. Marathon running helped me in that. And about this running during the lockdown, what I want to tell is that when lockdown came, people thought it is the end of life. Many runners got disillusioned.
Right.
What I have to tell is that when there is a crisis, we have to accept that this is the reality and then respond positively. So instead of getting disappointed, disillusioned over lockdown, what I thought was I will do jogging inside my house, inside my apartment and do 42 kilometers. I did it not once, I did it 4 times. I did it this Sunday also to give the message that if there is a will, there is an inspiring way to achieve it. And this is the message I want all the youths to carry today, that if there is a will, there is a way to achieve sustainable development goals. And you have to have the will because this is about you. This is about the world you are going to live in the next 15 years. This is the India you are to be for the next 15 years or 20 years. This is about your future. So be determined, be resilient, and try to contribute to sustainable development goals. There will be failures, there will be criticism, there will be a lot of challenges when you try to do something different. When you try to tell others that you are going to contribute to sustainable development goals, there could be criticism, there could be ridiculing, but don't give up. Because the ultimate goal is that we require better, improved lives, we require an improved planet. And it is upon each of us, whatever be our position, whether we are an upper middle class family, lower middle class family, being unemployed in whatever role, each person has something to do to contribute to better life, to better planet, improved planet.
Sir, it is, it's inspiring for me as well listening to your marathons, your story about marathons and how you started, and then the energy that you derived because of that marathon. The stories that you're telling, it is a self-experience it's an experience by yourself. And I strongly believe, as you were telling, that whenever we do something, there are only 2 things that we gain out of it. Either it is an experience. If we fail, we gain an experience. And if we succeed, then there is success anyway. So I think there is no failure in any way. And as you mentioned, it is also important that we get up. We might, we might be broken down today, but it is important that we get up and keep walking. Even a step today, even an inch forward, is a success in itself.
Yes.
And very rightly, yes.
Look, we should keep moving. We should not stand still.
Correct. Sir, and it just reminds me of what Barack Obama had said, that change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones who have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. And for the change that we seek, that we're talking about, it is important that we keep walking and have the patience. I think one very important thing that has come out of this entire marathon is it is about patience as well.
It is about patience. It is also about, as you told, making a change. See, each person to be a change maker, each person has to be the change. And I think running outside is the best example of sustainability, because you are not wasting any resources. And that is the best way to stay fit and healthy. And that if you like do jogging or walking or running outside, that is the best sustainability model you can have.
Sir, I'm just getting a little nostalgic with how we started in 2015 when there was this Nepal earthquake that happened. And a lot of young people from Siliguri wanted to do something. And you're very well aware about the geographics of Siliguri. So we were denied everywhere for the campaign that we wanted, because we were 17, 18 and we were young people, students. So we took no as a new opportunity. We took NO as a new opportunity, and then we realized that within 10 days, young people started contributing pocket money from their, started donating money from their pocket money. And within 10 days, we collected 1.5 lakhs. And they were all from the pocket money. Some of them were also sent letters telling that, dear sir, madam, I fought with my mommy to buy chocolates for 2 rupees, and here it is for a better Nepal. And that inspired us, sir. That message was,
there are so many inspiring things that youths can do. I will tell all the youths should experience fellowships. They should do volunteering. I'll just narrate a story about one SBI Youth for India fellow, Mr. Anand Watts, who was an MTech in civil mechanical engineering from IIT Chennai. Instead of going for corporate career, he joined SBI Youth for India fellowship, did the rural fellowship for 13 months. As part of the fellowship, he was in Dangs district, Gujarat, which is a tribal area. He worked with bamboo craftsmen there. And because of his mechanical engineering background, he made some small equipments to reduce the drudgery of the bamboo craftsmen. So after his fellowship was over, he went back to that village, that same location, and started a social enterprise involving 6 bamboo craftsmen, thus giving livelihood opportunity to 6 bamboo craftsmen. You just see, instead of seeking life, this highly educated seeking a job in corporate sector, which would have paid him well, this highly educated youth has started a social enterprise, has given livelihood opportunity for 6 to 7 people. What a role model is this? What I wanted to tell is there are very good number of youths who wanted to do something good for the society. They want to give back to society, and they want to bring positive change. Only we have to spread such stories. So what I want to tell about to the youth who are listening today is that just not like in social media, whatever good stories you see, you just share those stories, good stories, because we have to spread awareness about positivity. What all positive acts our youths are doing. Only then we will be able to motivate many others to contribute to society.
Very true, sir. This act of sharing stories is very essential, and that is how we can positively use the power of social media.
Yes, because otherwise, what if we listen to TV channels, we see mostly negativity. It is almost fight between panelists or on various topics. Whereas we should spread positive news about so many good things are happening in India. So many good things our youths are doing. So many good things our youths are doing, highly educated youths are doing, even sacrificing their lucrative careers. So all these stories have to be spread.
Right, sir. Very true. Sir, in terms of your Youth for India fellowship, there's a question that has come up. Sir, is there any criteria for scholarship that could be given to young people, or is it? Could you share maybe a little brief?
Our SBI Youth for India Fellowship is a flagship program of SBI Foundation, where we take 100 youths every year, 100 highly educated youths, and prepare them for development sector. And this is a rural fellowship where youths who have been educated in IIMs, Indian Institute of Technologies, youths who have been educated in foreign universities like Harvard, Oxford, youths who have been with lucrative jobs in PwC, Infosys, TCS, doctors, chartered accountants, leave their careers and join this fellowship because they want to address some issues which our villagers face. So this is a 13 months fellowship program. The main idea was that our NGOs development sector do not get a highly qualified youth. So it's a matter of pride for us that 70% of the youths who join the fellowship continue with the NGOs, continue in the development sector. So that is a great contribution SBI and SBI Foundation is doing towards the social sector, attracting youths who would have been in cubicles to the villages, to the development sector. We get around 12,000 applications for this 100 fellowships, and it is very highly competitive because 100 out of 12,000 only will be selected as fellows. And all of them do inspiring activities in their project locations by bringing positive change in the amongst the vulnerable and marginalized communities. And they bring creativity and innovation to rural problems. So this is what we wanted. If you are an engineer or a doctor or a chartered accountant, come to the villages, solve the issues of the villages by applying your knowledge, applying your innovation, and applying your creativity.
Very nice, sir. Sir, this is really inspiring to hear. I mean, I've been following Youth for India's fellowship for a long time now, and a lot of my friends have had the opportunity to be there as a fellow. And this is a lot of learning that I have also gained of their experience being as well. So I think not taking much of your time, we have had a lovely conversation surrounding around SDGs, surrounding around sustainability, then taking local action, then also making sure how an individual needs to be sustainable. Just a final question that is coming up. So what would be your message to youth of India today?
The message is each youth should be a change maker. Each youth, irrespective of his position, should do something to improve the lives around them. This is my message to the youth.
Very true. I think each youth should be a change maker. And very rightly said, sir. Every person is a leader in himself or herself. It is just about taking the first action. Just acting now with what sir said earlier, that we need to have 3 masalas or 3 recipes to success, as sir said earlier. It is about the sincerity of heart to the cause, maybe. Then having a clarity of mind, what we want to do, why we want to achieve it. And then having a passion to act and achieve it, having a passion to execute it. And that is important. So once we have these 3 recipes of Mr. Nixon that he has strongly advocated for, and then every person is a change maker in himself or herself, I think that could really go a long way in achieving the sustainable development goals that we are talking about in this decade of action. So thank you so much, sir, once again for your enlightening discussion, dialogues, and experience. And thank you so much to all the viewers who have joined in this.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you very much.